Hello, I'm Larry Good. Welcome to Inside Santa Barbara, the 30-minute news magazine program that keeps you informed about city issues. Well, making a living in Santa Barbara means many different things to many different people. For some of our lowest paid workers in our community, it means earning as little as $10,000 to $12,000 a year. So recently, the City Council passed an ordinance to provide higher wages to a handful of local service workers. The City Council hopes that a living wage will increase the quality of life for some of the lowest paid members of our community. Another goal is to help offset the ever-increasing costs of housing and transportation, considering a median-price home is now $1.2 million and fuel is hovering around $3.50 a gallon.
Taking positions that show that you're being a responsible employer not only to your staff but also to the contractors and people. We spend a lot of public dollars on contracts. That it's important that we have responsible compensation policies that go along with those contracts. And that, to me, is what the Living Wage Ordinance was addressing.
Alan Williams' Service Master business has more than 10 contracts with the City of Santa Barbara to clean public bathrooms and parks and parking lots, the water treatment plant, even city creeks. It's only 2% of his cleaning business, but it's steady, dependable money. However, the ordinance has raised some concerns with business leaders.
When you begin to create inhibitors to doing business, business goes somewhere else. It's not hard to figure out.
The living wage is set at $14 an hour, and if there are no benefits paid, that is the hourly rate that the service contractor must pay their employees while they're working on city business. If they provide benefits, that hourly rate can be lowered.
If the company provides basic medical insurance for the employee, the wage is $12 an hour. If the worker's family is also covered under the company health plan, the employee's wage is $11 an hour. At $11 an hour, that comes to $22,000 a year. Cushman is convinced that proponents of the ordinance would like to see it expanded to nonprofit organizations and businesses throughout the county.
When I talk to most of my employers and I ask them, will this affect you? Most of them go, no. I'm already paying more than that. It's the only way I can keep my employees. But it's the small restaurants, who hire a bunch of students, pay them $8 an hour, $9 an hour, who are going, wait a minute, if I have to pay $11 an hour or $14 an hour, I can't make it.
But Councilwoman Schneider says after 5 years of planning and debating, adding and deleting, the City Council is not headed down that slippery slope.
This is the ordinance. I don't see this as being step one. I see this as being the City of Santa Barbara's Living Wage Ordinance, and we need to let it take hold and take shape and work. And there might be some tweaking here and there in terms of some administrative guidelines, but in terms of the essence of what the ordinance holds, I think we're set. If there were other parts of the community that would have been included in the ordinance, they'd be in there now.
To deal with contract issues between the city and its vendors, the council will establish an advisory committee.
That will be a committee that the finance staff will work with as we implement the living wage over the course of the next several months. Their role will be to advise the city council and city staff on implementation issues and to assist us in implementing that ordinance.
One question could be an employer says, well, I qualify for the $11 an hour range, not even the middle piece, which is a $12 an hour range for limited health care. And the advisory committee would help determine is that correct or not. Other issues about how to audit the program, how to make sure people are in compliance, how to ensure that the contracts are done in a way that makes sense, that things are running smoothly. That's more the role of the advisory committee, to look to see how things are working.
The committee will be made up of both ordinance supporters and opponents. Written into the contracts with Service Master and the other vendors is a city requirement to provide annual cost of living increases to help the businesses cover the higher wages.
My guess is that we're probably looking at something in the $100,000 to $200,000 range per fiscal year impact on the city. Of course, we'll have a much better idea of that about a year from right now.
Cushman expressed concern with the increased use of public money.
It has built-in cost of living increases to it. I think that the intent is to expand it. I don't think people will tolerate that, so there'll be a correction, and over time there will either have to be a decrease in service, a decrease in city employees, or new taxes. Those are the three choices.
But Schneider is quick to point out that nationwide studies of a living wage in other cities conclude the contrary.
And the studies are showing that no, contracts do not rise significantly. They do assist the people who are working on those contracts in terms of their quality of life. And city services are not diminished but in essence because of the city ordinance.
And she believes that a living wage probably saves the taxpayers money.
If people who are working on behalf of the city of Santa Barbara are not able to afford rent, food, shelter, the basic necessities, what they're doing is then going to other public social service agencies, and we're paying for that too.
The ordinance will undergo a full city council review every 2 years. Well, this building here at 1235 Chapala Street for many years was the home of Christmas Unity. In a few months, it will be the biggest gift handed to local teenagers since the opening of the waterfront skateboard park. It's midsummer and your teenagers have been there and done that. They feel they're too old for the summer camp scene, and the beach is already getting old. Well, the Santa Barbara Parks and Recreation Department has your answer.
We're going to Hurricane Harbor, Magic Mountain, Raging Waters, as well as Universal Studios, and today we're going to a Dodger game.
Hernandez coordinates the Parks and Rec Summer Excursion Program, which has incredible deals. Disneyland for $48, Universal Studios for $45, and Magic Mountain for $32. And that includes admission and transportation.
They have something to do, and we go all day long, so they get to spend a day out and just having fun, and we try to do as best as we can and give them like what we can. But yeah, we do have exceptional prices.
And that's just a small sample of what's available for the Santa Barbara teenagers this summer and throughout the year. The Santa Barbara Parks and Rec teen website has a long list of excursions, tournaments, workshops, and dances.
We come here for the dances. We just come here to dance or just chill with friends, you know.
On this Friday night at the Carrillo Rec Center, it was summer kickoff. Teens of all ages come for the table games and movies, computer games, pizza, and a chance to meet other teens. For Michelle Ventura, at the transition age of 12, it was kind of a coming out party, and her mom wanted to see what the city has to offer and how she could get involved.
I think one thing that is very important right now when they're before teenager stuff, they can have fun, they can be safe, they can learn things. That's the best thing to do. Especially we're happy here in Santa Barbara.
Behind the Carrillo Rec Center, teens have had a gathering point for years. It's called the Alley. But it's always been too small to handle large numbers of teens or programs. And the rec center itself isn't designed for teenagers exclusively.
We just work out of the offices right now, so there's no good teen interaction. We do, but it's a limited number. But with this building, we'll be able to reach out to more teens.
Welcome to the proposed, soon-to-be-completed Teen Recreation Center.
Well, this is going to be our main area when the kids walk in.
Alexander says it's been a decade in the making, due to be completed in January of '07. The center will be a great escape for teens. There will be pool tables, a smoothie bar, computers with internet access, a large room for movies and dances, and a music room.
We're going to be having like some production equipment in here, computers, Mac Minis, and a lot of digital recording instruments. So guitars, drums. It should be nice in there.
Well, that's going to be something that most kids don't have access to. I mean, to have an opportunity to, come in and record a CD or something? Or record, maybe they've got music they're doing at school and they want to put it on tape or CD?
Yes, hopefully they will be able to record a whole album if they would like to, yeah.
I think it's really cool because a lot of my friends have their own little bands, but they just use a little tiny tape deck recorder, and I think it'll be a really cool place to go to because you can make your own CDs, and then local bands can make their CDs, and honestly, I think it'll be a place where bands will be found. I'd like to start this youth council meeting.
Chris McDermott and others on the Youth Council are the voice of Santa Barbara teenagers. Their audience is the City Council, which has heard the calls for a teen center and have come through with the funding. And so has the Santa Barbara Foundation, to the tune of $22,000.
It's something that the city has needed and wanted for a long time. And the nice thing about this particular project is that the kids themselves have helped design it and helped design the activities that are going to go on inside. So we know it's going to be used by them.
This room is going to be the lounge and study area. This wall in here is going to be knocked down, and this is going to become one like big square room. So we'll have computers all alongside the walls.
There's going to be study halls for SATs. They're going to have SAT books, AP books, AP study books. They're going to have SAT2 books, ACT books. And then you'll be able to go there and study when, let's say, your environment at home isn't really right.
From this location, most all of the teen programs can be run. Field trips, dances, movie nights, game nights, music production, and study hall.
This will be a good central location. We already get a lot of foot traffic. We've been noticing a lot of foot traffic from teens coming home from school and everything. So it's a good central location, and it's right downtown, so it's a perfect neutral area for everybody to come.
I think it'll bring teens together. You'll meet new people. You'll be able to hang out with your friends in the cafe and the lounge. You'll go on the internet together. You'll play a game together. You'll play pool together. You'll go there at the same time. It'll be a place to hang out. It'll be a place to meet people.
To learn more about the new Teen Center or get a list of year-round programs at the Rec Department, just log on to their website at sbparksandrecreation.com. Well, there is a new way to tune in to City Council meetings and other programs that you see here on Channel 18. Rachel Asenis introduces us to a new pilot project.
City Council meetings are held every Tuesday here in Council chambers. At times, this room is full of people who want to participate in city issues they are passionate about. Council meetings are broadcast on the city's Government Access Channel 18, but the number of cable households it reaches is limited.
70% of the households in the city subscribe to cable television, so there's another 30% of potential viewers for our programming out there that can't see it. So what the streaming video project does for us, it opens up potentially another large chunk of the community that doesn't see our programming or our meetings or can tune into, the variety of stuff that we air.
For example, the viewership does not include the city of Carpinteria, which is involved in many regional issues. Well, now City Council meetings are only a click away. The city of Santa Barbara is introducing its new streaming video technology. Live City Council meetings and archive meetings will be available on the city's website, www.santabarbaraca.gov.
We're starting off with a smaller scope here, which is City Council meetings only. Viewers will be able to see all or any part of a City Council meeting, and we fully anticipate this to be expanded to other meetings, commission meetings, planning commission, and other kinds of city meetings over the near future.
City Council members believe that streaming meetings will encourage greater public participation.
If you look at why Santa Barbara is as good as it is, I personally believe that it's because of the volunteerism. All of the people who contribute without asking for any money on all the various boards and commissions and the private nonprofits. And to be active in the community, you have to know what city government's doing, and this is the best way to find out.
Another advantage of streaming City Council meetings is its ease of access.
For the public, they can watch a council meeting from home. In addition, if they're not able to catch a specific item the next morning, they can log on to the website and go ahead and go to our site and click on that specific item and see exactly what happened with that particular item.
So log on to the city's website, www.santabarbaraca.gov. Click on City Videos, then click on Watch City Council Meetings under Quick Links. All you have to do now is click on which meeting you would like to view. You can also view other city TV programming on the internet, like this show, Inside Santa Barbara.
The pilot project is part of the city's goal to improve communication with the public. Well, the City Library's bookmobile has just received an environmental makeover. Brooke Hawkins takes us aboard this new and improved city treasure.
The City of Santa Barbara's Library on Wheels has just gone solar. With the recent addition of photovoltaic panels to its roof, the bookmobile is another step towards the city's goal of energy efficiency.
They've installed 18 panels on the top, and what that does is pretty much give us all the power for the interior here.
These new solar panels allow the bookmobile to run all lights, air conditioning, and computers on board without the diesel engine running. This will reduce emissions and also put an end to other negative side effects of burning diesel fuel.
The diesel fumes made it really difficult to be around it or to have the door open when we were stopped at a school or a shopping center or a community center. So it was really not very comfortable for the staff or certainly for those people that were coming to use it.
Running the diesel engine was loud and caused a health hazard to patrons. And with fuel prices continuing to rise, the bookmobile's makeover will not only have environmental benefits, but will help save the city some money.
Before, I used to pump about 40 gallons at the end of the week. Now I'm pumping about 40 every 2 weeks.
So what happens when the sun isn't shining?
Even on a gloomy day, the panels are collecting the energy. We never run out. You know, even when I come back the next day, we have enough to go all day.
The solar panels are part of the combined efforts of Public Works and the library, and they have been receiving glowing reviews from library staff and patrons.
The improved bookmobile made its debut at the most recent Santa Barbara Earth Day Festival. Check out the library's website at sblibrary.org to find out more about the bookmobile's summer schedule. Well, the Granada Garage in downtown Santa Barbara is now fully complete. Rachel Asenis introduces us to this new downtown landmark.
It took over 20 years to begin, but only 21 months to complete. With 570 spaces, the new Granada Garage will provide much-needed parking in downtown. Located on the corner of Anapamu and Anacapa Streets, the lot also houses new offices for the downtown parking and environmental services programs.
Another unique feature of the Granada Garage is the vehicle counting system, which shows how many spaces are available on each level or if the levels are full.
The garage also features a speed ramp that lets drivers go directly to the level with available spaces.
It allows the drivers to go to each level without the need to go by every parking space first.
And for those who are looking for alternate ways to get to work, the garage features a secure bike station where you can not only park your bike, but repair it as well.
The bike station will hold 80 bikes and has a shower and a bathroom, so there's no excuse now not to ride your bike to work.
These features help make the Granada Garage the most efficient parking lot in the city, and some even argue that it is the most attractive parking lot anywhere.
Well, when you think of parking structure, you wouldn't think of this building. And I think that makes it feel real wonderful to me in that it just blends really in with where the courthouse is and the library, both beautiful buildings, and then this building. I'm very proud of the way it looks.
Ground broke on the old surface lot in September 2004. Even though there were obstacles like record rainfall and an unexpected incident of soil contamination, construction for the $25 million lot was finished on time.
It'll just really add so much when people come to town. They'll be able to park close to their events. They'll be able to use the restaurants that are right around here. The library and the art museum are directly across the street. It's and the county courthouse is right here. It just couldn't be in a better, more convenient spot.
The garage is now fully open, but only the Anacapa Street entrance will be accessible until the Granada Theater construction is completed in 2007. The Granada Garage project has already received a variety of accolades. The project won 2 awards from the American Public Works Association, including the Grand Prize for Project of the Year. The structure also won the American Society of Civil Engineers Project of the Year Award in February.
The first 75 minutes of parking is free, and it's $1.50 for every additional hour. Well, in November of 2000, Santa Barbara voters approved Measure B, an increase in the hotel-motel bed tax to restore creeks and improve water quality. Up next, we'll take a look at a major project that was the result of that initiative.
It wasn't long ago when most people would pass by this stretch of land at the edge of the Douglas Family Preserve and think it was just another overgrown thicket, a tangle of poison oak and arundo. But below this area lies the intersection of Mesa Creek and the Arroyo Burro estuary. It is now undergoing an extreme makeover by the city's Creeks Division.
It has Arroyo Burro Beach. It has the Douglas Family Preserve right behind us. Both of those areas are off-leash dog. They're also great areas for families to come on weekends and during the summer. So this provides a connectivity between those playgrounds, and it's of great importance to the entire community.
The project includes the removal of a 300-foot concrete culvert to daylight Mesa Creek, new trails and a footbridge, and the expansion of the estuary. The area is an important habitat for many plants and animals, including 2 that are on the endangered species list. The site also plays a key role in water quality for Arroyo Burro Beach. That's why the Santa Barbara City Creeks Division chose this spot for one of their most ambitious restoration projects to date.
Those are really exciting components because so few times the city does not have space or a location for a major project. 1, 2, 3, yay!
The groundbreaking ceremony took place in early June with staff and elected officials alike excited about the range of benefits the project will provide.
The ability of this ecosystem to clean itself and to be sustainable really is what Measure B money is all about.
Because of its proximity to the Watershed Resource Center and the beach, the project is expected to be used as an educational tool as well as an example for creekside property owners everywhere.
It's really a great example of taking advantage of these public parklands to get water quality improvements and habitat improvements in the same kind of project.
In addition to Measure B resources, the project includes over $1.2 million in grant funds from local, state, and federal agencies. And while there is plenty of credit to go around, the project wouldn't happen without Measure B.
Measure B gives us money for the creeks, and we get to do these wonderful projects. So I'm so grateful for the voters and the residents of Santa Barbara.
Full construction on the Mesa Creek and Arroyo Burro estuary will be completed by 2007. Well, fire season is here, and a group of new firefighters just completed an intense 10-week training. Rachel Asenis gives us an inside look at how far they've come.
Fire season has just begun, and already we've had a sobering reminder of the seriousness of wildfires. It came June 20th in the form of one of the largest fires in the history of Santa Barbara County. Over 15,000 acres were burned in the Perkins Fire, located in the Los Padres National Forest, 45 miles east of Santa Maria. Several fire agencies were called out to help fight the blaze, including 16 firefighters from Santa Barbara. While the fire was burning back here at home, new recruits were trained to fight such wildland fires. This was all part of a 10-week training course for recruits, which included but was not restricted to wildland fire training. Recruits are prepared for a wide range of emergencies, from structure fires to wildland fires. Now, training also includes automobile extractions, where trainees learn how to use the jaws of life. Firefighters in Santa Barbara deal with a long list of natural and man-made catastrophes, 7,000 emergency incidents every year. The month of June marks the beginning of fire season, and these recruits are prepared for it.
We're bringing these folks on board. We're going to be able to bring us up to our near our normal strength, which is good. A lot of the folks that we've hired have wildland experience, which is also good. And so it's a win-win for everybody. We're very happy to have them.
I think their training has prepared them. Some of the folks have even come from, most of them, as a matter of fact, have had some kind of fire background. But I think we've prepared them very well for whatever gets thrown at them. So yeah, they could be thrown right into the mix right away. But I think they're ready.
At their graduation ceremony on June 23rd, rookies like Tia McEvers said that 10 weeks of training has made her confident to fight on the front line.
It was a long 10 weeks. In retrospect, it went by fast, but we got a lot of good training. We learned a lot of things in a really short amount of time, but we worked really hard, and I feel confident being on the floor.
Kevin Corbett served the Santa Barbara Police Department for the past 9 years. He says he will face very different obstacles as a firefighter, but that the intense 10 weeks of training has prepared him to face those challenges.
It was an honor to be hired by Santa Barbara Fire Department, and I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm very excited to be here.
See the line down here? On the right!
The new firefighters were not called out to the Perkins fire, but those who were, fortunately, came back uninjured. And that's going to do it for this edition of Inside Santa Barbara. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments about the program, give us a call at City Hall at 564-5311 or check out our website at citytv18.com. I'm your host, Larry Good, and I'd just like to announce that after 10 years, this is my last Inside Santa Barbara. I'd like to thank the City of Santa Barbara, the hundreds of newsmakers and individuals that I've interviewed over the years for this opportunity, and to tell you that we're the second most watched program here on Channel 18. Remember to stay involved inside Santa Barbara. I know I will.